Today is a very sunny November 30th, 2024. You're looking at the Madison, Connecticut Shoreline East Station. Rail fanning along the Northeast Corridor in a couple of places, shared with the Shoreline East trains and Amtrak. Why am I out here today? Later, early this afternoon, I'm going to be headed to the Connecticut Valley Railroad to get their Santa Claus trains, where they supposedly run as many as 3 steam locomotives at once. Looking west at Madison on the Amtrak Northeast Corridor. It's a nice balmy 34 degrees, but crystal clear day. All right, at
Train approaching.
10:08.
Please remain behind yellow line.
We have those friendly warnings coming mighty handy, as there are curves around this area where trains just suddenly appear.
Please remain behind
This should be
yellow
for
line.
Amtrak 2263, Boston to Washington. Here he comes.
Train approaching. Please remain behind yellow line.
All right, coming east at 10:20 is train 2292, New York to Boston, Essex Express. Moving.
Train approaching.
Approaching at 10:55 is train 99 en route from Boston to Newport News. Should have 2265 not too far behind them, Boston to Washington.
Approaching. Please remain behind yellow line.
Here he comes.
Train approaching.
Good-sized train. Many moons ago on Thanksgiving weekend, Amtrak used to run Boston to New Haven trains utilizing MBTA equipment. How I would love to see a train like that going east with a nice F40 leading the pack, but it's just not going to happen. All right, at 11:08, approaching eastbound is Shoreline East train 3610, en route from New Haven to New London, running down track number 1. There's no platform there, so he won't be stopping. Shoeless Kawasaki M8s. Okay, 11:12. Warning of westbound train 2265.
Train approaching. Please
Boston,
remain
Washington,
behind yellow
Essex
line.
Express. Right behind it should be 3629 from Shoreline East.
Train approaching. Please remain behind yellow line.
Time was 11:22, approaching his Shoreline East train 3629. He will stop here. He's got a number of passengers he's picking up. More M8s. Sorry, folks, I didn't get the train's departure, but I could definitely tell you that that train was unlike Chicago White Sox former player Shoeless Joe Jackson. All the cars had shoes. We are now further east on the Amtrak Northeast Corridor at the Westbrook Shoreline East Station. It's right off of I-95 and just off Connecticut Route 153. And it's about a 10 or 11 minute drive to Essex, Connecticut, where the Valley Railroad is, or the Essex Steam Train and Riverboat. And this station is a bit more elaborate than the Madison station was, as this has two platforms, east and west. Well, approaching westbound at 11:52 is train 161.
Please remain behind yellow line.
161 from Boston to Washington. Should see quite a few trains here before I head up to Essex. You'll be passing right to my
Train
left.
approaching. Please remain behind yellow line. Please remain behind yellow line.
Oh, that was cool. That was 2247, Yacela from Boston to Washington.
Train approaching. Please remain.
All right, approaching 1222 is Amtrak 87 en route from Boston to Norfolk, Virginia. I'll be passing by to my left on track 2. Approaching eastbound, 1231 is Amtrak 162, Washington, Boston. Approaching at 1248 is Amtrak 2265, Boston to Washington.
Train approaching. Please remain behind yellow line.
Should be followed by Shoreline East 3637, New London to New Haven.
Train approaching. Please remain behind yellow line.
At 1252, approaching is Shoreline East train 3637, with undoubtedly the same
Train
rate
approaching.
set that I
Please
saw
remain
east on
behind
3610.
yellow line.
This station is Shoreline East, Westbrook. This is the train to New Haven. The next station is Shoreline East, Clinton.
Shoot M8's on his way to his next stop at Clinton. Time to head up to Essex. Amtrak has put on a good show. Well, here we are, Essex Steam Train and Riverboat, Essex, Connecticut. The town was discovered in 1664. People have been bugging me for years to do the Valley Railroad at Essex, and somehow I've always leaned towards Pennsylvania and never leaning up this part of Connecticut. Well, when I looked at a recent schedule for their Santa Claus trains, North Pole Express trains, they ran an aggressive schedule of trains every 30 minutes from 2 o'clock until well into the evening. And they've got 3 steam locomotives running. The 40, the 97, and the 3025. Man, oh man, how could I have overlooked this for so long? Dig this scene, will you? On the left is 282, number 40, and on the right is 282, number 3025. The 40 was built by Alco, And the 3025 was built in China at the Tangshan Locomotive Factory. It was built in 1989. It's made up to look like a New Haven Railroad 282. This is a GE 80-ton locomotive on display, built in the 1940s. Painted in a New Haven Railroad paint scheme. So here in the visitor center, very Christmas themed background here. Little snack bar in here, restrooms, and now's the time to get in the Christmas spirit. I don't start decorating my house until after Thanksgiving, but it seems like as I've gotten older and older, it seems like I see Christmas decorations up like Veterans Day, Election Day. Pretty soon, on July 5th, they'll be putting up Christmas trees. Ah, booze. Now you're talking. No, I'm not an alcoholic. Just wine, exclusively wine. If I have anything stronger, I have to go to the hospital. Trains and Christmas go together like ham and eggs. Even the ham and eggs engineer has to agree. And he's working on the 40. No, this is not the 40 that runs at the New Hope in Ivanland. This is a 282. That one is a 280, and that's built by Baldwin. This is built by the American Locomotive Company. This is Jack at the Valley Railroad. I haven't been up here since the 1980s from Long Island. I've been going to Pennsylvania too much.
Well, I'm glad you came down to see us. Where
Oh.
are you going, Strasburg?
Yeah, that and a few others, but Strasburg has always been, but these guys seem like you run more steam engines than they do.
Well, not quite. We have 3 steam engines, 3 operating steam engines.
So what's your schedule today? What are you running
We
today?
run every half hour starting at 2 o'clock. The ride's an hour and a half. We have 4 separate trains, 3 steam, 1 diesel. Hi, how you doing? Merry Christmas.
Well, you got the 40, the 3025, and the 97, I
That's
guess.
correct. That's correct. Yes.
What's the diesel?
What is it? It's an 80-ton diesel.
Oh, okay,
It's
like
down here now.
that one.
902. I think it's 902 is the number now. Yeah.
Okay. Do they meet anywhere along the way, or they just go meet at the ends of the
We
line?
walk to the North Pole,
Yeah.
Deep River.
Is that Deep River Valley Road that goes up that way?
Yep, it's the North Pole this time of year.
Okay, man, these are
Santa
great.
Claus.
These are great looking engines.
Okay,
Hope you stay warm.
we will, Captain.
All right, thank you. Yes, Penelope, they're running 3 steam locomotives on this railroad today. Here's the third one, number 97. It's a 280 built by the American Locomotive Company. Unbelievable. When I think of 97, I think of that old railroad folk song, The Wreck of the Old 97. Well, hopefully nothing will happen to this engine today or any other day for that matter. It sounds like it's got a great whistle. like they're going to service the locomotive here. The 2 o'clock train is departing. They're going to be running every half hour until 8 p.m. inclusive. Quite a show of motor power force they're planning to run. This is the number 40 pulling out. We'll have limited daylight between now and 5 o'clock, so try to get a few places along the right-of-way and spend the dark hours by the station, which looks like it's well lit. Like every tourist railroad you go to, you find those former Lackawanna MU trailers. It at Rattling Valley Road. Not as easy to chase as I thought, but maybe it's not that bad further down. Yeah, we're now at the Essex Street crossing in Deep River, Connecticut. The tracks move closer to the Connecticut River at this point, just a little ways to the north. That's where the North Pole is that this railroad sells to people for their North Pole Express trains. And here comes the 2:30 departure out of Essex. Was the 3025, the Chinese-built 282. It's got a beautiful whistle on them. Sounds almost like Strasbourg number 90, a Reading Company style whistle. Yeah, I recognize former Lackawanna and Jersey Central passenger cars on that. We're at the end of the line at the North Pole as this train is backing up. on the shores of the Connecticut River. Well, here comes the equipment with the 40 backing up. Got a former Lackawanna MU trailer in the rear. Shades of Long Island Railroad MP54s, Pennsylvania Railroad MP54s. I grew up listening to those whistles. still trying to figure out what they're doing, how they're operating this. I guess with all the trains that they have, and there are no intermediate sidings, they have to pull down past here for headroom. Now the 40 looks like he's going to run around his train. How many trains are you running at the same time?
4.
Wow. What do you do? Just pull down for headroom and everybody takes their turn?
Yep. Yeah. 2 here at the same time and 2 in Essex at the same time.
Ah, I figured. This is what the North Pole stop looks like. It's about as close as I can get. Apparently, the 40 will back up to the other end of his train, and then the next train with the 97, I believe, will come in. I need to put Christmas lights, those colors, up a little further. I've only just started to decorate. Well, here comes our next customer at the North Pole, led by the number 97. The Santa's elves are there to greet the passengers. Once he clears, the 40 will head back to Essex. Train's being invaded. Looks like it might be a former Pennsylvania Railroad baggage car. It's backing up. All right, the 3025's equipment is backing up, kind of passes by. That was a 2:30 train out of Essex. What kind of a whistle does this thing have? Like an old-time subway whistle. An R1, an R9. Yeah, what I think he's going to do, he's going to back into the station. All of Santa's helpers will get off, and Santa Claus will get off. And then the 97 will pull his train down a line further. And then this train with the 3025 will do his runaround. And then after he completes his runaround, the next train will come in. I'm not sure what that'll be, maybe the 80-ton diesel. Now the 3025 is going to run it around his train. And they get ready for the next train, which I think will have the 80-tonner on it. I heard the unmistakable sound of a Hancock Air Whistle in the distance. Talk about New Haven Railroad nostalgia. I've often said, with all the FL9s that are running around on tourist railroads and whatnot, they all seem to have K5LA horns. And to me, those are imposters. A real FL9 would have a Hancock Air Whistle. Have a good Thanksgiving, young fella.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right.
Trainman 2, I'm in position. River Street crossing is protected.
All right, here's the fourth locomotive that's running around today. GE 80-tonner 0903 with a beautiful Hancock Air Whistle. Day today, but these cars know a lot about cold weather. These used to toil on Montreal commuter trains. I think these particularly ran on the Canadian Pacific's trains. Oh, I love that whistle. And they're running through the train, Santa's helpers. Yeah, these cars have seen all kinds of locomotives. They've seen all kinds of steam engines, FP7s, Jeeps. cars are built by the Canadian Car and Foundry. Canadian Car and Foundry built these cars, but they kind of look like, the way the body is shaped, they sort of look like the old Long Island Railroad Pullman Standard P-72s. Not exactly a Judo. Oh man, keep blowing that whistle. Well, the 97's equipment is backing up now. Let's hear what kind of a whistle this has. Time for 97's run around. The sun is fading and it's getting colder. I think I've seen plenty here. It's a great place. Next up should be 40, but I won't catch them here. Well, we're heading back towards Essex. This is the Rattling Valley Road crossing. And the 4 o'clock train is coming with number 40. Of Lackawanna MU trailers and old Pullman cars, heavyweights. Stick around, should be meeting 97 at the North Pole. We're closer to Essex at the Dump Road crossing, and we'll catch 97 heading back to Essex. Not even the Strasburg Railroad could put on a show like this with 3 live steam engines running at once. It's good to see white smoke. That means no wasteful use of coal. Well, our last crossing we'll visit out on the road is Old Deep River Road. There aren't a lot of crossings on this line between the terminals, and it's relatively easy to follow. There's running so many trains today that it's easy to find a spot and just wait for something to happen. All right, our last train we'll see out on the road is the 4:30 departure from Essex with the Chinese-built 3025. And all I can say is the guy who invented thermal underwear was an absolute genius. Came in mighty handy on a day like this. I just thank God it's not windy. This railroad kind of reminds me of the New Hope in Ivyland. Now they call it the New Hope Railroad. In fact, the Valley Railroad's number 40 looks and sounds an awful lot like the New Hope and Ivyland's 40. Only it's a different wheel arrangement and a different builder. You can see how nicely decorated the interiors of those cars are. Well, we're back at Essex Station. 97's getting ready to depart at 5 o'clock. But I think he has to wait for something to come in first. Kind of hard to keep track of the order of trains. I think the next train that will come in will be the 80-tonner with the Hancock Air Whistle. Here comes the 3:30 departure with the 80-tonner. Love that New Haven sound. And they back the train in after running through the siding, and the engine will run around the train. Well, the GE steeple cab is running around his train now. Well, this is one General Electric diesel I get a kick out of. out of this. Pumping up the air. All right, at 5:35 p.m., here comes the number 40. As soon as he clears the switch, our mighty GE 80 tonner will pull out. The Hancock 4700 Air Whistle, the signature whistle of the New Haven Railroad. Just about every diesel locomotive had them. Well, let us not forget the EP5 jets had them too. Yeah, it's a sea of humanity here at Essex, Connecticut. This is definitely a popular tourist railroad, and it certainly is this weekend. Great fleet of steam engines, and I love that GE 80 tonner. I mean, all the steam engines are great, but my favorite is the one that's coming in shortly, the 3025. Relatively young steam engine compared to the 97 and the 40. All right, 6:05, the gates are going down. My favorite steam engine of the bunch is coming in, the 3025. They're actually going to order a fourth steam engine, a Frisco 1352, another 282. Next year at this time for these trains, you may have 4 trains all operated with steam.
Now with the train coming, back up. Back it up.
The 3025 is doing his run around after he backed the consist into the station. We'll stick around here and watch him depart at 6:30 thereabouts, bringing a thrilling day of the Valley Railroad to a close. It's been great. Long overdue visit. Well, that's definitely my favorite whistle of the steam engines. It really sounds like a Reading Company whistle. Like he's gonna put some water on the tender. This engine pants like the New York Susquehanna and Western 142. No coincidence, since that engine was also built in China. All right, 637, here comes 97. And shortly thereafter, 3025 will pull out, concluding this magnificent day at the Valley Railroad. Man, it must be hot in there. Those windows are all steamed up. Merry Christmas. A little early, but all aboard 3025.